everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, May 29, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Imagine if we could all have a stress-free life. I think most of us know that stress is the number one cause of the disruption of these bodies, and the number one cause of a lot of malfunctions over time. Many of us don't know we carry stress because we're so used to it. So when you get used to something, you don't know it's there until something happens with the body. Every tomorrow has two handles. We can take hold of it with the handle of anxiety or the handle of faith and reward feature. Stress-free beings are ordinary people like you, yet they have adopted a variety of different ways of seeing, interpreting, and understanding this world that allows them to fully live in this world, yet not get caught in its drama. You ever met anybody like that? Stress-free beings are ordinary people just like any of us, yet they have adopted a variety of different ways of seeing, interpreting, and understanding this world that allows them to fully live in this world, yet not get caught in its drama. The beings who are always relaxed inside, free from any kind of stress, have a constant expanding perception of themselves. They know no limits to what is possible. They also know no destination other than now. They experience no hesitation, procrastination, or postponement of their lives because this life is too juicy being here now. A stress-free being loves life too much to be stressed out about it. Their mind does not get stuck on judgments of themselves or others and releases them the instant they arise. They have no resistance to life's multidimensional barrage of experiences. Thus, they hold no tension in their body's nervous system. Any stressful constrictions of blood vessels caused by adrenaline rushes, doubt, fear, or anger are instantly released so they can dive deeper into more experiences of joy, love, and freedom. They simply have their priorities straight. A stress-free being isn't trying to avoid an early death because they are too consumed with loving life, enjoying the illusion of it and all of it all, and having a great time all the way to the grave. They know that everything is always going to change, and they trust they are always guided in this constant changing flow of life. When they connect with other people, they know it may be their last moments together, and yet are relaxed because they understand that everyone is an infinite being who will never ever die. Because this wisdom circulates in their thoughts, emotions, and physical body, they are constantly tapped in to a perpetual flow of bliss within themselves. Stress-free people have learned one key technique, that stress is the number one signal from the body to stop whatever they are doing and let it all go. They know avoidance strategies don't work, and to ignore this signal and keep going will only cause future pain. They only want to transcend the mental prison of their ego's agenda, even though they have practiced the art of letting go and releasing for years. They have always considered themselves to be a student. They are always learning. They truly come around to embracing their own innocence. They can see, feel, that within the innermost core is this pure being. They know this is the simple ecstasy everyone is seeking. People who embrace a stress-free way of life have a very playful energy. The entire universe is their playground. They play with all kinds of people from all walks and worlds. They also welcome any experience they come in contact with. They know how to easily handle any negative thoughts that arise in the mind. They never lack or take these negative things too seriously and choose instead a playful approach on the inner world as well as the outer. A stress-free being resists nothing. When negative feelings and the grumpy state enters the mind, they invite it in openly, experience the pattern it's holding fully. Everything that occurs in their mind, emotions, body, are welcomed as a guest that is here to visit for a short time. They know the bigger picture of life, so they can welcome each thought and feeling and not get stuck in them. They see every negative thought as a small water rapid down the infinite river of life. And so they kick back and they relish the ride over them. Someone who constantly lives in the stress-free zone has tapped into the truth of their being. They live each moment connected to the truth that they are an infinite being that knows no death. They know the body will come and go, yet who they are cannot be harmed or impacted by the outer world. When you fully embrace this knowing, it is impossible for stress to exist in your world, for you realize that all outer world situations are temporary experiences that cannot touch the beauty and lightness of your being. Realize the truth, and you will be truly free. You are not this mind, nor this body. You are this radiant, eternal light that cannot be dimmed in any way, shape, or form. Your true self continues to shine brightly through all of the adventures of being a human being that the mind may label as stressful. Whatever may cause your mind to feel stressed out is simply the mind being overly attached to a certain limited thought or form. When you realize the truth of who you are, the mind has to get and let go automatically, and you are free. Now, there's three powerful practices that can support you in living a completely stress-free life, where you know and remember your timelines and your timeless, infinite nature. The secret one, quiet your mind. The meditative mind is a divine mind. It is simply being here in the now. It has become so relaxed that it is actually laser focused, pointing towards mindfulness in the now. Every stress-free being will tell you there is no better moment in your life than this one that is happening right now. Meditation is a way to quiet the mind so you can see that all experiences, negative and positive, are passed to the soul to discover this higher universal source. A quiet mind can hear their intuition clearly so they can establish deeper connections with everyone in the world and manifest a much more peaceful experience of life. A quiet mind is much easier to live than a busy mind. And secret two, celebrate what is now. Attachment to your past and future is what creates the greatest amount of stress in your life. Attachment to your past and future is what creates the greatest amount of stress in your life. Since this moment is the only thing that is real, choose to be constantly celebrating what is happening now. If you are experiencing a problem, celebrate it. That problem will soon be a blessing, a deeply eternal love in disguise. Life is actually not about overcoming your problems and karma. It is a celebration of all opposites until there is equanimity in the mind and a complete balance of emotions. which leads you into total freedom of consciousness. How could the mind know light without shadow, or depth without shallowness? The mind exists in a state of perpetual ebb and flow of the tides. Celebration of this play is what makes you a master of your life. Whatever it is that's happening in your life right now, there is some way you can celebrate it. There is always another door opening where one has closed. Now is that moment that is filled with life's amazing qualities. Just realizing this little secret will assist you greatly in choosing to see the miraculous instead of the mundane wherever you are. And 3, remember your infinite nature. As you go through your days, pause regularly to remember this simple truth. We are all eternal beings who will never, ever, ever, ever die. We are souls in a body who will only change form. We will be reborn again if we want it or not. If we have enough awareness, we can choose to master this experience and then experience anything we want to. The infinite quality of our own being is obvious and very real. It is just like the sun, always shining, always bright, and super warm. And yet the sun is a grand understatement to describe the brilliance of who we really are. When you discover the true enormity inside yourself, everything will change, and the outer world will no longer impact you in a negative, fearful way. The universe will welcome you to explore this limitless, divine self everywhere you go on its playground. So for the next 7 days, anytime you start getting stressed out about something, practice celebrating what is. Simply say to yourself, I choose to celebrate existence right now. Life is just too good to not make this choice, even if you don't understand why. Look for the blessing that is hidden behind this so-called problem and celebrate it as an opportunity for growth. It is your chance to quiet your mind and realize your infinite nature. Remind yourself when you notice stress arising inside that you are an infinite being that will not die. Notice what happens. Play with this assignment and welcome all that life challenges you. Your job is to intimately know yourself as that which is permanent and can never be harmed, hurt, or changed. You see how it works? It's always our choice, each of us. Do we choose, because again, with this habit, I mean, we're in this heavy evil, this habit. And the habit is what draws us. So we allow the stress to kind of just rip us apart. That's what it does eventually. Worry, stress, and fear in the yesterday or tomorrow. Because it doesn't exist now. It doesn't exist now. We move into the now with our breath. We do an easy, slow breath in through the nose and an easy, slow breath out through the mouth. Once we focus on our breath, we're in the now. And the now is all we have. I'll say it forever. The now is all we have. We don't have the past. We don't have the future. We only have the now. There's been many people throughout the ages, planned all kinds of things, structured, set up, and they never got there because they left the body. Okay? So, but when you embrace the fact that you know that the body is temporary, then it doesn't, you're not affected by it. You know it's temporary. So that's why you'll celebrate every now moment that you possibly can, and everything about the now moment. Because there isn't one of us, when we really get down to it, that can absolutely guarantee that we will wake the next morning. We can't. I mean, you can, and you're being dishonest with yourself. Why is it that the majority of us on this planet are not in the now? Why is that? Because they don't know. Because they believe that the future, material physical world, and the past is where they should be. And, there's a lot of people that live in the past. I know people that are inventors and stuff, and they're dealing with 15 and 20-year-old technologies, and they're still messing with it. And they haven't advanced it. Okay? But they're living in the past. Somehow, for some of us, it's comforting to live in the past. Others, it's comforting to live in the future. Because why is that? The ego mind does not exist in the now. It doesn't want you. It doesn't care to have you be in the now. So it will do everything, every distraction it possibly can to get you to stay either in the past, future, past, past, future, past, past, future. And what happens is we get stressed out. Are you aware? I don't know if many are aware of that. See, we create our own stress, our own fear, anxiety. I mean, it just depends. And again, it's a choice. Why would we stay quagmired in the past and the future? Wow. No wonder so many people on this planet are stressed out to the hilt. Why they take life so darn seriously all the time. Why they're always fighting, structuring, positioning, running and racing, grabbing and clawing and pulling to get somewhere. When all in all, we're already there in the now. Now, to practice with being in the now is to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times. Also, being the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude. You focus on the now. The now allows us to still the ego mind, subconscious mind, because we leave them alone. We don't engage them. And we're only in the now, the breath. The breath is the now. And so when we're in the now, those things don't exist. Think about that. They don't exist. You can watch them now. Okay? Now that you're not engaged with them, you can watch them. And you don't judge. You can learn how to manage them. See, and then you get to the point where you have these thoughts, right? Each of us put out 60,000 plus thoughts a day, without fail every day. It doesn't mean we know every single thought. We're sending that many out to the universe. So how can we not create? That's what we do 24/7. We also have all of these programs, tons of them. I mean, endless amounts of programs. They're thoughts. And they fly by like clouds in the sky. So you're in the now. And all of a sudden you find yourself somewhere else. Isn't it a bad thing? Is it negative? It's just an experience. So you find yourself somewhere else, but the neat thing is that you've gotten to the point where you can identify the ego mind. And you can identify what those thoughts are. That's an ego thought. You'll know it. I mean, you're in your heart mind, you'll know it. And you just, I'll focus on my breath and be in the now. And when you say it's an ego thought, it disappears. And they come in all day, all night. And you say it's ego thought. And you identify it. And then it's gone. So you don't embrace it. You say, we move energy into form. All of us do, all the time. We're moving energy into form. We're creating it into reality. And we're experiencing it. Another word, manifesting. Right? Now, does it mean that we know what we're manifesting? Now, the majority of the time, we don't have a clue. Because, number one, we don't know who and what we are. See? Many still believe we're the body. And so that's where we get lost. There's been a lot of things perpetrated on this civilization. A lot of things. And so, when people wake up, you ever met anybody that you, maybe yourself, but when you come to the conclusion that things just aren't right, and you know it deep in your heart, things are just not right here. And you've had that kind of tapping on your shoulder, not for maybe a few years, okay? But you just kind of brushed it off. But then something happened, and you became aware to the point where, I got to find this out because it's really starting to bug me. And then you start discovering that you've awakened, that you woke up. And that's happening to people every day. It always has happened to people every day. And so we have this, and we acknowledge it. See, we take things in, we say, hey, have a seat. You got some stress issues that come in. Have a seat. Let's interact with that. I'm very glad that you could come by and stop by. Stop by, not stay by. So, and what happens is that we start realizing, that most of your fears are created by the ego mind? Uh-huh. And they're illusions. They really are. And what do you think the lower dark matter, survivor matter frequencies, what is their biggest power? It's by far. What is the power that they have over the civilization? Fear. It's their number one power. Fear. See? Now, as things really start to speed up shifting-wise, that'll go the opposite direction. They will experience fear, overwhelming, gripping fear. Imagine this universe, right? Not only this universe, but all the connecting universes. And imagine every once in a great while, a cleansing occurs. It's like, let's put it this way, an analogy, that you're on a camping trip, right? And you go out, friends, whatever, and you camp. There's really, where you're camping, there's no shower, take a shower or anything. You kind of build up dirt and debris on the skin. You kind of smell, and then you notice how good it feels if you've ever been in that situation. And you finally take a shower, and you feel how you just know how good it feels and how clean you feel. Well, look at this planet and this universe. Do you think that it feels this is similar as it cleanses itself, as the waters rush over and cleanse it? This happens. Just like we have the water rush over us and cleanse us. So you begin to realize is that as the collective consciousness of all things, in the now, in the nothingness, and the everything and beyond, there is always a cleansing process. Now, you look at the time frequencies that those happen. And some people say, well, that's a long time. But it really isn't, comparatively speaking. So you say, well, here on this planet, it's about, 9 to 12,000 years. This is always about cleansing. We're cleansing ourselves, those of us that are waking up, because we're no longer entertaining this artificial, synthetic, exterior life. We entertain ourselves through the discovery within on who and what we are. And then you kind of look at the exterior world and the physical, synthetic world, you view it, right? You view it. You don't get into it. You don't become part of it. You view it. And you know that anything that you enjoy on this planet is temporary, because you're in a physical form. You know the physical form isn't going to last, through eternal like you, and it'll eventually cease, and you'll leave it. But does that, are you done? No. You decide what you're going to enter next. What physical form do you care to experience? That's how it works. That's what it's about. What is the experience that you're seeking? In experiencing yourself, being in the now, and being in kindness and generosity and humbleness and bliss and gratitude all the time, because you are in the now, you float. You float through life. You've probably met people where they genuinely don't get destroyed. And some people get irritated about it. Says, why are you always smiling? What is there to smile about right now on this planet? Why are you so happy? Because I celebrate my life every single day. I celebrate the now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, because I don't know if tomorrow will ever come, nor am I interested in it. Can you see the massive shift on this planet that is taking place and occurring? It's not coming. It's here, and it's way beyond being here. It's gone forward, and it's progressing very quickly. So when we, it's a choice. But I'm sure you've met people like that. And you got a bunch of people that are sitting there, woe is me. How many people have you met that are woe is me? Woe is me this, woe is me that, woe is me. And you kind of say, wow, this person's really negative. And so you respond by saying, it's not that bad. Things are pretty good. What are you, crazy? Say everything sucks. It's all falling apart. And you look at you feel it through your heart, and you go, that's not true. You're here right now in that body. That's a celebration. Why? See, we spend our energies on tomorrow or yesterday. That's the bottom line. We are slaves to the ego mind. Do you think any difference to the Palladians? Don't you think that they have ego minds? Sure they do. If you didn't have an ego mind, you know what would happen? You wouldn't have emotion. You'd be like the TV created species Vulcan. Purge all emotion. And in that context, you're overseeing the ego mind rather than it overseeing you. But that's to an extreme, because you laugh, you joke, you cry. Those are emotions. Would you love to be emotion-free, walk around like a zombie, a robot, and not experience the richness of the life that you've had the opportunity to get a hold of? Now you look in front of you and you've got three paths. All right? Look on the left, that's the past. One on the right's future. One you're standing on right now is the now. Now, when you look at these paths, you will notice a big difference. You see, the trees, of course, have formed canopies over these paths, and they're shimmering gold. The leaves are shimmering gold, the bark, the branches. And the path itself is this brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Looks like grass. Now you look at the one on the left. It's pretty common sense that we know this, and it's really heavily traveled. It's worn, been used a lot. The one on the right, the future, been used a lot. Now, we all go into the past. We reminisce, we have memories and nostalgia and stuff, and it's fun. We have a good time when we go in the past. You know, we open the door to our great hall, and we turn on the light. And remember, the great hall is created by the subconscious mind, which records everything. Not only does it record it, it plays it back. So you're in this great hall, and you look for walls and ceilings. You don't see them because the place is so vast. But we still go in there, and we'll pick up some books, some movies, and some pictures, and we'll sit in an easy chair. We've got a screen up in front of us, and we'll watch some of the movies, read some of the books, and look at some of the pictures. And we even use our past as a guide. Oh, I remember doing that, and it didn't work out the way I did it. So I'm going to try a different way to see if it works. So we can use the past as a reference to help us in the now. But the interesting thing is that some of us, and I don't believe it's consciously aware, I believe it's unconscious, some of us will just stay there. And we stay there so long that we take that past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past and that future. And a lot of people do this. And they will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. And when people say that, and I'm around that, I say to them, it's because you're living in the past. See? And so everything is the past. The future is the past, yesterday is the past, and today is the past. But see, most of us we'll do that, but we put everything away, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in life. And on occasion, things will spark us to remember, and we'll reminisce. We revisit on occasion. We all go into the future because the future, why do we go into the future? Why? Because we want to know. Because the ego mind is controlling us to the extent where we're worried, we're stressing, we're fearing. We're fearing tomorrow because we want to know what's happening tomorrow or a month from now or a year from now and how things are going to be in our lives. So we seek external authorities. And there's a lot of external authorities, and they give information. You've got card readers, astrologers, psychics, clairvoyants. There's a lot of people. Palm readers, tea leaf readers, crystal readers. So you seek this out, and you'll ask them things. Astrologer will go by your chart and tell you certain things in your chart. Okay? Card readers will flip cards up that have different meanings and impact, and will tell you from that card reading, you know, you're going to be this in life and this in life and that in life, or this is going to happen, in 3 months or whatever. You can look forward to this happening. Now, some of us will believe it. Some of us are very skeptical. That's pretty normal. And some of us will believe it and say, wow, that's really something. That's great. So in 3 months, the cards are saying that I'm going to have this, this, and this, and so on and so forth. What about, am I going to have more money? Am I going to have a better job? What? What am I going to have? You know, am I going to finally be well enough to enjoy my life? I mean, these are questions. The regular questions in this cases are, when am I going to have more money? Health issues, and relationships. That's right there. Those three are the keys. Those are the ones that are mostly visited. And so when someone's told that, in 3 months they're going to come into a lot of money, what they don't understand is that the money can come in different ways, opportunities to act upon. See, a lot of people will think that it's just going to come to me somewhere, some way, shape, or form. I'm going to have all this money. And if you do not have a good relationship with money, you will not have money. So, can you see why there's so much pain and suffering on the planet, and disappointment, and anger, and frustration, and the big mahafa is what? Stress. And see, these bodies, they're like a super magnetic sponge, and they absorb everything. And I know this because I learned years ago through being a massage therapist that people store it. The body stores it. It doesn't go. It just, you don't throw it. It doesn't. It's not dropping in the street or something. We store that stress in many different ways, and each of us are different, just slightly. And when we store that stress, we don't know it. So let's put it this way. Have you ever woken up in the morning, you start walking around, and you feel heavy? It's a strange feeling. You feel heavy. Have you ever done that? You ever experienced that? It's your body saying, hey, Jiminy Christmas, could you help me get rid of some of this stress? It's really overloading me. You know, I've stashed it everywhere I can, and I don't have any place else to stash it. And that's where you go into gratitude, and that's where you stay in the now through the breath. And you talk to the body, say, body, we're going to release that stress. It has no meaning. Why am I carrying all this stress? Burdening my body. Body should be in joy, not pain. It's being aware. It's a choice. It's being aware. Right? Knowing what that body is. Period. Because you know you're not the body, you're not the character, you're not the personality, you're not the color of skin, you know, you're not the nationality, you're not the belongings and status in this life. You're the God. You literally are the God in that body. Period. You're the God in the body. The more and more through the heart mind, we as a civilization and a species will start embracing that. And then live in more joy, much less stress, if any, happiness and bliss, and be at peace. Because when you get to that point, you'll float. You'll just flow with life. You won't fight it. You won't get in an argument with it. You'll just float with it. It's like the boat on the river letting the stream take you downstream. That's what it is. And you learn never to fight the current. Why would we fight the current? Most of us will fight the current until these bodies are so exhausted we have to leave them. And you've heard people, you probably said it yourself, I'm going with the flow. You know, I've learned, and I've heard people tell me this, you know, I planned this, I structured this, I worked really hard on this, and it didn't work out any way that I wanted it to. I was so disappointed, so let down. So, they go with the flow. They just take life one moment at a time. That's it. For some, it's easier because you get in that habit and you practice that more and more, and you stay there. You stay in the now through the breath. Others will practice it and then slip into the future or the past, say, and then the ego mind will throw things in, and you'll have events happen, and then you'll get overloaded, and then you'll get stressful, and you'll get irritated, and you'll get worried and angry. It's not rocket science to understand how this all works. And it's all about, this life, guys, is about risk. All of us taking risk. Now, do we know we take the risk? How is it going to be in our favor? We don't know that. We have no clue. So we take the risk. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then we take other risks. And to be able to survive the risks and welcome them. I'm going to do this way. No one else does it this way. So I'm just going to try it this way because I have this feeling that it may work. Now, do you have any guarantees it'll work? Not really. But you'll do it because it's the unknown. And that's where all the possibilities are, in the unknown. Now, we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake. Consciously aware. We have parts of ourselves that are stone cold asleep. But you see, there's still parts of us, the gods that we are. So we don't have separation. Well, I don't know those parts there. I'm going to throw them out. They're part of ourselves. The gods that we are. We love them just as deeply as we love the parts of ourselves that are awake. They'll wake in their own time. And every single one of us are the God in these bodies. The Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, they all have the God within them. They're humanoids, right? Different species. So try not to let your ego mind carry you to think that you're any less than any other civilization. All right? And the only difference in any of the civilizations is ego. Ego mind. That's it right there. Do you believe that you would have issues with other civilizations if you were in the now and you had mastered staying in the now and that you took life with joy rather than super seriousness? You accepted it. You went with the flow. It would be a whole different ballgame on this planet in the event that this civilization chose that path. Nothing that you see happening right now would be happening because it would have all been gone, eliminated, long time ago. We have such a brilliant light, right, inside these bodies. And you figure that on this planet, right now, on it and above below, we got about 8 billion humanoids. And each one carrying a god. So, we don't figure in all the gods inhabiting all the other physical forms. It's humongous. And so then what we do is the planet glows. You could take 1 trillion suns, group them all together, they would still pale in comparison to the light of the gods that we are. Period. And you took a starship off this planet, you went out far enough, and you looked at this planet and until it was about the size of a basketball, you would see it glowing. And you would see, just like I said, all the suns in the entire universe would not come close to its brightness. Wouldn't. So a God, planet, paradise that glows. We create this. We're creating this paradise. Remember that. Unfortunately, many think that they're minuscule and powerless and weak and, guilt-ridden and depressed and stressed. But see, you choose that. Believe it or not, that's a choice. I know it doesn't make sense, but why would anybody choose that? Why would anybody choose that? That's misery. And people who are in misery love other people who are in misery. People who are in joy love other people who are in joy. Birds of a feather flock together. So what you attract, remember this, what you're attracting is what you're thinking. That's it, period. What you're attracting is what you're thinking. So if you're surrounded by people that you're going, why do I keep attracting these kinds of people? Then you reflect, and okay, so I'm attracting these kinds of people because of what? What am I doing to do that? I want to shift that. I want to attract people that are joyous, that are blissful, that are progressive, that move forward, that stay in the now, that are just genuinely happy. And they don't sweat the small stuff, and they don't take this life so seriously. So it's a real a choice. It's a choosing factor. And it's also comprehending about who and what you are within that body. Now, you look at all the gathering. You want to call it a gathering because it's every particle and all existence and nothingness and beyond, which we are, the gods, right? So we're focused on this planet. This planet is going through a cleansing. That's what it is. Super bright light cleansing. Pure, deep, eternal love cleansing. It's overdue. Okay. The lower dark matter, survival matter, invasion frequencies, and the pure twisted evil and the corrupted souls have overpopulated the planet and have gripped it and have caused damage to the planet and damage to all of us. Death, destruction, and annihilation. An anti-civilization is the demons. They are an anti-civilization. Their direction is self-annihilation. And it's been proven forever that these creatures invade planets and then they end up, eventually they'll self-annihilate. So they'll destroy themselves in the long run. What we're building on the planet, in order to have the build that we're doing, is we have to eliminate all of that dark matter. And then what happens? Then we have a God-planet paradise, a civilization of the universe, of life, the highest supreme value in the universes. So we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Continues to expand, intensify, and grow. Now we form a massive white fire light circle around this planet, around the equator of this planet. What is it? It's deep, pure, eternal love. That's what we're made of in these bodies. It is the highest high frequency. So we saturate, permeate, and flood this planet with that love. There's no escape from it. Whether it's in the upper and outer atmospheres, whether it's on the planet, in the planet, above it, and below it. So we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it isn't like an ocean of glitter you'd depict on this planet, but we take the things that we've seen and are familiar with on this planet to identify it. What does this ocean of glitter look like? We take a grand finale fireworks display, intensify it 1 trillion times, and then we take a laser light show display, intensify it 1 trillion times. Then we take the ballroom mirror globe, and then whenever you shine light on it, it floods the room with light. And we 1 trillion times intensify it. We combine all of those in a massive crescendo. And in one burst, that's really near to what the ocean of glitter is. Now, of course, we look at all the reflective points, which are everywhere in this ocean of glitter, and we enter them, perfectly etched mirrors, microscopic, and we discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching and learning and teaching. We inhabit physical form to teach each other. So we experience those physical lives, not necessarily a humanoid all the time. Rocks, trees, bushes, bears, cows, bugs, birds. I mean, we just go on and on and on. And when you look at this, and the grandeur of it, and the glory of it, and you start learning about you, who and what you are, and you start learning about what it's like to be all of those forms, did you see why we would ever get bored in this life? I don't see it. And it's a constant education. Most of us were distracted by the material physical world, that which we created to entertain ourselves. But we're so immersed in it that we don't notice those things. We really don't. You could just sit and experience massive occurrences where you wouldn't even notice before. And the one thing is to look and to view and not judge. So you kind of look at a caterpillar, right? Well, you know that caterpillar is going to become a butterfly, right? Is the caterpillar worried about not being? No. Caterpillar is concentrating on forming a cocoon and transforming into another form. Think about that. That's a learning for all of us because we transform. We move and we move into other forms. That's it. We're pure energy. We don't diminish and we don't dissipate. When we don't cease. We're eternal. We're infinity and beyond. Now we're immediately met. We create columns of light, the gods that we are. These remind us we have the carriers of the light, the archangels, the cherub and seraphim archetype. The Archangel Raphael carries the emerald green flaming healing light, right? Which that reminds us, the gods that we are the power of healing. Now, Archangel Michael, he carries the column of the violet, blue, purple flaming light, which reminds us gods in these bodies of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We have amnesia, so we need vehicles that are going to generate remembrance, right? So that's what this is all for, to help us awake, to rediscover the gods that we are, while in these physical forms. Then we come across the white fire. This is also created to remind us all, right? That from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7, infinity beyond, by a white fire armor which generates from the gods that we are, which extends out and around, inside and out, of the love that we're made of, and the pure consciousness. This is off-the-charts power. It's the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. So at that frequency that we sustain it, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, okay? None of that. No attachments, no possessions can come in. They would vaporize. They know this, they stay away. Now, the difference is that we, each of us, decide if we're going to lower our vibrational frequency. Most of the time, we don't think that way, do we? We get upset and we fall off the handle, or we do this, we do that, and our frequency drops. Is someone else doing that to you? No, you're doing it. You are. So you drop that frequency low enough, whether it be consciously or unconsciously, you're going to create a breach in your white fire armor. And the frequencies are, hatred, anger, fear, guilt, greed, envy, revenge, hurry. And so you can just watch it. Your frequency goes drop, and you open, and your white fire armor is breached because it weakens greatly. For these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then you have different areas of possibilities of possession, attachment, and many other things. But see, still, we have fail-safes all the time. So in the event we decide to do this, we are immediately met with a double column of light that we created to remind us all. First part of this column of light is the violet, purple transmuting flame. And This reminds us we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they're no more. And the second part of this is the violet ray, which we create to remind ourselves that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we, the gods, created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows, the sunset and the sunrise. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the oceans, rivers, lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests. We're all of that. We are everything and everything is us. So through the ego, through the head mind, right? We look at a sunset and we will say, and we've all done it more than once, this is that beautiful. Look at how beautiful that is. I got to get a picture of that. But when you embrace it through the heart mind, you immediately connect with all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and you look at that as that's the God that I am. That lake, that's the God that I am. That sunset, that sunrise, that's the God that I am. Remember, ego mind isn't that beautiful? Separation. Past or future, not now. The now, the heart mind, that's the God that I am. We continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us who carry physical form decide to step outside of physical form, hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because we can, and it's really fun. We created this massive crystalline light tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. This tower, the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere, this huge golden white ball of light. And this golden white ball of light is continually being surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates this super bright, electrified cloud mist that's absorbed in through our heart minds. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, abundance, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discovered that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are in this body. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it, created it, so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. Now, what is the golden ocean? It's pure, deep, eternal love. And it's flooding the planet, saturating it, permeating it. And we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion that we're played with is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. All of us created this sphere over 4 years ago. It almost is at 1,900 meditations in perpetual motion that keep expanding, strengthening, and growing. That's why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond it, forever. This is why it continues to grow, to intensify, and expand. And it's flooding this planet. Now, you can plug in through your heart minds, in the now, through meditation, and you can see what's happening. You look over this vast surface, atmosphere, on it, in and above and below it, and you see this, it is the blackest of the blackest black that you've ever seen. It is evaporating from the planet off of all surfaces everywhere. And you see it. This includes the AI goop, the rogue AI goop. And it's evaporating. And in the atmosphere, we place this energetic field of golden white pink light. You can see through it. But you're looking at this goop as it evaporates from the planet. And you can see it flashing and sparkling because it's disappearing as it hits this field. Not only that, the sky we turned into this massive golden white pink light. It's brilliant. So any of this dark matter that actually gets up to the sky, it goes in one flash. It's done. It is no more. Now through this process, we are eliminating dark matter, which can take on all kinds of forms, infect souls, cause to be corrupted, twisted souls, infect everything into pure evil. It can do a lot of damage, dark matter. And we're vaporizing it from this planet. You can see that anytime you choose. Just kind of giving yourself a heads up. Deep inside your being is a powerful awareness that is very awake, present, and aligned with the isness. The isness. For today, sink into and surrender to that which is always present, always listening, always watching, and always aware. It is an experiencing. Allow your awareness to guide you through whatever experiences you have in your body and mind. Trust that it is all you will ever need. I'll join you in meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy, slow breath out through the mouth. Be still. This is a magical moment. When you are truly present to it, you can deeply enjoy your life in all its mysterious, mystical ways. As you open yourself to the possibility that this moment really does contain magic and deeply relax into it, then you become magical. For today, hold the intention to be intimately, deeply, and completely connected to the magic of this entire universe. Become so unified with this field of energy and intelligent love that you cannot help but to experience the divine infinite being you truly are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we'll be back here, return on Monday, May 30th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation